share the link. Right. Okay. I guess let us begin. Let's give it 30 seconds maybe. Let's begin now. So, welcome to the NFT Daily Market Health Stats by me, Swombat, Daniel Tenner. So let's review where the market is right now. Yesterday we were sitting pretty at this little bump. Now there's been these 4 dots here, so it was looking potentially hopeful yesterday, but I did give a note of caution that if it was driven by short-term news like the cool cats making some announcement about their milk and stuff like that, then it would come back down quite rapidly, and that's exactly what has happened, unfortunately. There is a little bit of a bump in the other indices, well, at least in the women-led projects and Zeneca New, which could be due to the liquidity that was freed up when this bump happened. Let's look at this in a bit more detail. So this was the bump, cool cats, pudgy penguins. As you can see, it's come back down and it's trending down again. Usually when there's a big bump like this, there's a bit of liquidity that sort of sloshes around and increases volumes. And that's probably why it's a little bit higher than it was before, but it's still clearly trending down. And so unless something changes, we're going to get back to the same levels, which, as I'll cover near the end of the live stream, I think it's actually possible that something will change. But let's look at where we are now with the index. So we're basically back where we were just before this spike, at historic lows. I mean, just a smidgen higher than the previous low there, but we just need one lower bar now, which could very well happen, for this index to drop lower than that 3.9 level that it's at here. And if we look at it in context, this is really low. So we're plumbing the depths there. If we look at Zeneca Old, that's also at historic lows. It's also plumbing the depths. It had a similar bump that was partly driven by the cool cats bump, in fact, because this index includes cool cats and pudgy penguins, and it's kind of got a tiny bit of a rebound there, which, I mean, I don't know why that would be happening. One possible guess is the cool cats liquidity. Another possible guess is ETH Denver is happening right now. Maybe there's a bit of excitement there that leads to increased volumes. And one other possibility is just total and utter randomness, which is also a factor in markets. Either way, it's not exactly an exciting bump, as Ben Cohen would put it. It's not really worth getting out of bed for. So let's move on to Zeneca New. This one has a little bit more of a sustained rebound there, or it's not really a proper rebound, but it's still part of a epic downtrend there. But in relation to a couple of days ago, it's a little bit higher, so that's nice. my guess again is either ETH Denver or the Cool Cats liquidity just spreading around, going into lower price projects that look quite attractive in a bear market because their prices tend to be quite depressed. Finally, the women-led projects are still in a downtrend. Well, at least we haven't made a new low. There's that. That's a nice little bonus. But if we look at the 90-day chart, we can see that it's still very much in a downtrend, and it would be overly optimistic to speculate that we've gotten out of the downtrend just because we haven't made a new low yet again after making a new low 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row. Well, the 7th time we've not yet made a new low, but it's already flattening out here, so it could easily just drop down further and make another new low. So why am I hopeful despite these disastrous market health statistics? Well, if you look at our favorite context chart, Bitcoin and ETH are both clearly trending sideways now. Anyone who's holding Bitcoin and ETH would have to be quite deluded, I think, to look at this graph and think, oh yeah, it's definitely going up, I better hold it. So people are going to start looking for other places to put their money to chase alpha, and one of those places traditionally is NFTs. So hopefully, as long as this lasts, if we can sort of continue going like this for as long as possible, really, as much as the Bitcoin speculators may hate that, this would be the ideal situation to increase the NFT activity. And the other reason why I'm reasonably, why I'm cautiously optimistic that we might have the conditions for NFT activity to recover is that gas has been reasonable, at least occasionally, over the last few days. So it's not like there's been, people who have been here for a couple of months can remember periods where for days it's like, 200, 300 gas, and it's just impossible to expect any kind of market recovery with that kind of gas. Whilst I think a couple of days ago somebody pointed out, I didn't see it myself, but somebody pointed out that gas had hit 30, which makes NFT trading a lot more cost effective. So I don't think there's one thing that I mentioned in my thread as well, which might be worth mentioning here, is one of the factors that might play against that is that, well, people are maybe going to look for NFT investments, but obviously things that make the NFT space look more scary and more dangerous are going to push in the other direction. And right now we are going through a phase where there's a lot of scammers being exposed, which is a good thing. It's a great thing. It's needed for the space to mature and become, in my opinion, what it has the potential to become. But at the same time, it looks scary to outsiders. They keep seeing, like, what's the latest ones? There's that ridiculous 888 club trying to mint at absolutely outrageous prices. There's the Serial Club, which is like looked kind of reputable and maybe in doubt, and now is like looking far worse, as I think it's been linked up to some serial scammers. There's various influencers that have been trusted and liked, that Zach XBT is identifying and exposing as basically serial liars, and people with not much morality. And these are the people that unfortunately have taken advantage of the trust of the NFT space to elevate themselves into positions of influence and then abuse that influence to dump on their followers and run all sorts of scams. There's a good video by Giancarlo Shaw, which I will post in the comments, which is really worth watching if you haven't yet, to help you recognize the scams from the legitimate projects before they appear on NFT Ethics. which, let's face it, by the time you've minted and it's on NFT ethics, it's a bit late to pull out. It's better to identify them early, and Giancarlo goes into some detail about what the current meta is for the scammers. Anyway, the point is there's a lot of talk about scammers, even on this video, and that means that people who aren't deeply embedded in the space will feel like the space looks more risky, even though paradoxically it's actually getting safer as the scammers are exposed. That is, of course, as long as we don't keep reinviting the scammers into our midst. I mean, I'm hearing talk that Beanie Maxi might be becoming active again. I hope wherever he tries to be active, he's firmly shown the door. Ideally the door of a jail cell, but that's not for me to decide. And on this cheerful note, let's hope that Bitcoin continues to stagnate. Let's hope that gas continues to be low, and let's hope that the scammers continue to be exposed, and yet that investors do decide that, oh, now there's fewer scammers, so surely the space is safer. Thanks for listening. If you have any feedback, please leave a comment, and yeah, let me know. Or if you have any thoughts about this broadcast, let me know what you thought of it. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bye.